Laugh out loud, it's the place to be, where geeky minds meet so naturally. From pixel legends to blockbuster heart, dive right in, let's set this vibe apart.
It is time for the BM show, BM show, BM show. We're going to the BM. Dude, that sounds so Christmas.
Okay.
Oh man, so we've got a whole big packed show for this Thanksgiving special. Now, I want to tell you something really quick, Ben, that's not related to our topic, but this is, I know this isn't your field of interest, but I think this is just, the irony of this is just so great.
Okay.
So as you saw, recently Blooming News came out with the fact that the group just put out a new album, which means now that I have to go and redo my CDs, which, yes, I still use CDs to this day when I'm in my car, which is kind of sad to think about, the fact that that sounds like I'm old and ancient now, but I still do use a CD, so I have to reburn them again. Well, I didn't realize this, but my CDs are 80 minutes, and I'm so used to CDs being 74 minutes. So I was always packing these for 74 minutes. When I realized they're 80 minutes, I started redoing the first one again, and I packed it to where it literally said in iTunes, because yes, I'm also ancient, I use iTunes to burn CDs, that, and I just want to point out, after saying that, yes, I also have electricity, but it said an hour and 20 minutes for the CD. I'm like, oh dude, this is so not good, because it could either be under the hour and 20 minutes, or it could be just a little over the hour and 20 minutes. I don't know. So I went in to burn it, and it wouldn't burn. It was saying that I was gonna have to do multiple discs. So I took it to Windows Media Player, and it came up to like an hour and 19 minutes and 45 seconds. So I was like, okay, this has got to fit, because it's under the hour and 20 minutes. When I clicked on it to burn, it told me how much time was left on this. It said remaining time 1 second. And I was like, dude, I can't get any closer than that without filling it up completely. I was like so amazed and so lucky that like it fit just like perfectly. And
Okay, so when you're saying you have to redo all your CDs, does that mean, so do you like make mix CDs to have their songs on it?
well, I try to keep it within the same time frame, but I end up shuffling songs around between CDs to get as much room on each one as I can.
Oh, okay. See, like what I would do this was back in the day, I used to go and copy like stuff on the tapes, and I'd have it where it was like a group's whole discography
Yeah.
in order. And if I had leftover tape, I had leftover tape, but it was always like in order. And so you'd have like, I think AC/DC was like the group I did it with, where I had like, basically an album and a half on one tape, and then another album and a half on another tape.
Yeah. I did the same thing. And, but I actually got everything through 2024 on one disc, save their CD that came out in 2024. I put that CD on the 2025 stuff, and there's literally 3 CDs on one CD of their stuff.
Yeah, see, my CD player in my car can do MP3s.
Uh-huh.
So, I mean, if I burned anything, I probably would burn an MP3 disc and just like load it up with stuff.
Yeah.
Instead of having it be individual, like actual full blown CD tracks.
Mhm.
Like, cause also like my stereo, I have like the base model for my car, so it's not like I'm not gonna notice the fidelity is not as good as a WAV file.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, for me, I also have a CD player inside the house. So I mean, also I do have Spotify, and I could just run Spotify if I wanted to, but sometimes I just like putting the CD in. I could just take the CDs from the car into the house and drop them in that way.
See, I buy my music digitally,
Mhm.
but I only buy it for one particular store, and it's actually Amazon. Surprising enough, we praise Amazon so much. People might think we're sponsored by them. We are not sponsored by Amazon. We just there's some like Amazon Prime. Just like if you really exploit Amazon Prime, you can really get a lot of value out of it.
Oh yeah.
And with their music, if you buy their music, you actually can download the MP3 and it's DRM free.
Mhm.
They're like the only major one that does that. Every other one, you go and you buy something. I don't know if you can even buy music on Spotify, but if you could, it's stuck on Spotify. If you buy it from Apple, it is stuck on Apple.
Yeah.
But if you buy it on Amazon, you can use the Amazon player, or you could just download it and throw it into your Plex server, which is what I do with it. Or you can put it into your Apple ecosystem if you want to as well. You could do anything you want with it. So that is like what I think is the best way to go with it anytime for me anyway. That's why only time I buy a CD is if it's only available on that format, which for some albums it is.
See,
Like I the Saved by the Bell original soundtrack. It was never released on MP3. I
Mhm.
could only get it on CD.
For me, the CD is if it's a very special group. At that point, then I'll go out and I'll buy the CD.
The last
But
time,
it's not gonna be digital.
yeah, when I was doing K-pop, everything had to be physical.
Yeah, that's
Because
kind of how you have to do it.
Yeah, because and then also I couldn't open anything. So as you would buy the physical copy, never open it, and then find it online on a pirated website, download it from there.
There you go. Well, hey, it works. Like, but it's like the thing about that, like K-pop, J-pop, things like that, they have to import. It's like, oh, you want a CD? $100 for 3 tracks.
Oh, I know. I know. Yeah, there was some of the stuff was really expensive, which is why like when I went there, I literally went home with more luggage than I went there with because
Yeah,
I bought so much.
yeah.
Like, because if they're like compared to buying it here, buying it there, you're buying it for peanuts. It almost feels like. If
Mhm.
so, hell yeah, I would have. Like, I think I dropped I dropped hundreds of dollars just buying CDs,
Yeah.
and then yep, I ended up buying my last car, and then so it actually served a purpose because I ended up selling it to somebody, the whole collection for exactly how much the amount of money I needed to buy the car for.
That works. Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah,
That's like an investment. That's like you can invest in gold, you can invest in crypto, or you can invest in K-pop.
exactly.
I mean, I want to put my 401k in K-pop at this point.
Yeah, yeah. I'm actually texting my my broker right now about that. He said, "Are you crazy? Number one, it's a Sunday night. Why are you texting me so effing late?" And no, K-pop, no, no.
I'm like, want to buy stocks in Blackpink? I mean, seriously.
Some of the stuff, like, it really does get expensive. Like, I remember when I bought, I got like all the Brown Eyed Girl albums, and the first album and the second one, I think I bought both of them used from Japanese library, and one of them barely came together.
Yeah.
Like it was just like barely together. Like it was like I ripped the disc and then I put the disc away and then I just like if I got any of them open, I actually ripped the disc because I rather have a ripped copy than a downloaded copy.
Yeah.
Mostly because I just think it's gonna sound better. Whether or not it does, I don't know. But we are going on and on about music, and we should be talking about movies.
Yes, it is time to talk about a mass of movies. This Thursday is Thanksgiving, so we are doing a Thanksgiving special. These movies are either Thanksgiving related or they are about family or friends or family. I guess, living together, staying together, visiting together, or they are about the road trip with family or the road trip with friends.
Yeah, it's about gatherings in some form or another. It all started because I was outside waiting for a ride at the garage, and I called Mike and I said, "Hey, we should do the two of these National Lampoon movies together." Yeah, it somehow would turn into this.
It doesn't matter. We got to where it is now. We've mentioned that there were 5 movies we're doing. We actually have a surprise movie at the end. So it's now 6 reviews. So you have a lot to be thankful for. You are stuck with us for even longer.
Yep, this movie will probably last from we're recording Sunday night into Thanksgiving Day. It feels like,
But yeah, just be ready. Gather the family around the radio or whatever you use these days, and enjoy this over your Thanksgiving meal.
yes. So, are we ready to begin?
We are ready to begin. I'm going to
Okay.
bring up the first one here, and you've got the story for it ready, I'm assuming.
Yep. I'm just waiting for you.
And we are a go.
Madhouse is a 1990 comedy starring John Larroquette and Christy Alley as a married couple whose peaceful California home life is thrown into chaos when uninvited relatives suddenly arrive and refuse to leave. What begins as one inconvenient visit turns into a nonstop parade of family members, pets, emergencies, and disasters that push the couple to their breaking point. The film follows the increasingly desperate attempts to regain control of their home and sanity, all while the household spirals into complete pandemonium. This was fun. This was like number one. What a great title. At some point, there's literally a baby elephant walking around.
Mm-hmm.
The SWAT team takes over the house. It's,
The cat on cocaine.
oh, the cat on cocaine. The neighbor's daughter who had the hot for Larroquette. This movie's crazy.
Yep.
Like you don't know what's gonna happen next. It's like so they burn the neighbor's house down. So they have to bring the neighbors in. That's after they already have like his cousin and his wife, who's like housewives of Jersey, and also like her sister comes to live with them, and the sister she got thrown out by her boyfriend, husband. I'm not sure, husband, I think, and also his kid comes in, and the kid he becomes a drug lord. It's a crazy, crazy story. It sounds crazy. Dude. I was telling people about this movie. I was like on vacation for a couple days, and with a bunch of guys, and I was telling them about this movie, and I'm like, it sounds crazy. Just telling people about it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, Madhouse is the absolute most perfect title for this movie.
Yeah.
And like I said, this movie was so much fun. It was so much fun. And I give it a thumbs up.
All right. Well, so for me, this is okay. It's funny that you mentioned that you're mentioning this to friends. I encountered this when my parents were actually watching this and I wasn't watching it. All of a sudden, I heard the "Rah, of the cat, going around after the cocaine,
Mm.
and then they just started dying laughing. And I was like, "What exactly are you guys watching?" And they're kind of telling me about it, and I'm like, "Okay, I don't know." And then I watched it, and this is one of those really kind of unknown gems. I mean, it has a couple pretty big actors in it, but it still feels like it's really unknown. But it should be known because I agree with you 100%. This movie is just total fun. You're gonna sit down and you're just gonna soak in this movie. And that's what happened to Maria because she hadn't seen it either, and she watched it. And I was telling her, I usually tell her what movies we're gonna do for reviews.
Yeah.
And when I mentioned Madhouse, she's like, "Oh, that's a good movie." And yeah, I think that like whenever anyone watches it, their reaction is it's a good movie. It's just kind of an unknown movie.
Yeah.
So but there's a couple things that I do want to bring out about this movie. One is some of the ending where they're going to get the people out of the house. The kid that's got the firecrackers and the snake and everything. The way that they get him out just feels awkward. I think they should have done something a little better for him.
Mm.
It just feels like that one was just kind of thrown in to be rushed. But getting everyone else out was fantastic. There were two of the cast that I really want to bring out. One is that New Jersey, the lady that was the wife of his cousin.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, she was fantastic at the level how happy you were to see her go flying out of the window. She did a great job on that role of they're like, you gotta nail Jersey at the most annoying level you could possibly hit,
Mm.
and then take it up to 11 after that. And she did a great job of that.
Yeah, she was very annoying, but like at this, yeah, like you were glad to see her get what she got coming because she's like complaining about everything.
Yes. And as the home shop,
She got worse as the movie went on, which was great. Everything got worse as the movie went on. Everybody came in when they first come to the house, they're the perfect guest, and then they just get worse and worse and worse, and they're getting more and more and more, and they get worse. It's funny.
But
Go ahead, sorry.
that's where I want to bring up the real big star of this movie. The one that did the best job was
The cat?
the son of the sister.
Oh.
When the cat was great, but the son of the sister, when he comes in, he's like the perfect son, but the range of his character is just off the charts. Like every time you see him, it's just a little darker and a little crazier. And then you get to the point where John Larroquette's character has a box, and the way he delivers that line, like, it's got your name on it. It looks like it's your cocaine. And then you get to the very end where he comes out of hiding, and he is just a total absolute mess, complete night and day from where he started. And he delivers that line that is just, it is absolutely so memorable with the where he says, I'm gonna make some noise. And that's just a line that just kind of stuck with me because of just how well it was delivered and how much of a mess he was.
Yeah.
So I think he was definitely the star of the movie.
Well, it was
So with that though, I'm giving this movie a definite thumbs up. Back from when I first watched it, even to this day, it is still an absolute gem and a definite thumbs up for me.
a definite Madhouse. 2 thumbs up.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
One job.
5 to go.
Yeah, moving right along.
Oh wait, I gotta change the
Picture
Don't-
5.
Hold on.
Yeah,
There we go.
I don't have it up. Okay, we're good?
Yeah, we're good.
Animal House is a 1978 comedy classic directed by John Landis. Set in 1962 at Faber College, the movie follows the misfit Delta Tai Chi. Tai Chi? Oh, God.
Sure.
Yeah, correct me in the comments. Fraternity as they clash with the strict college dean and the elite Omega House. Led by characters Bluto, Otter, and Boone, Delta's chaotic antics escalate into food fights, pranks, toga parties, and a wild homecoming parade. Known for its irrelevant humor and iconic moments, Animal House became one of the most influential comedies in film history. Mike?
Okay, so you mentioned something the first couple words of that. You said it was a classic, right?
Yes.
This is a classic. Okay, so I watched this, and at one point I fell asleep, and I woke up, and I didn't rewind it, and I didn't care. This movie is an absolute disaster. I mean, I have had the runs that is more cohesive than this movie is. This movie, it feels like they hired fourth graders to write a script, gave them a few pieces of paper and said, write 5 minutes of this movie, but don't talk to anybody and ask what they're writing about. I mean, it's I don't understand how, first off, this would be influential. It's just a complete mess of just random stuff. The When your best part in this movie is I'm a zit, then there's some real problems. And I'm gonna say, after watching this, I think I know one of the what would have benefited this movie if they would have made it a comedy. Because I didn't even smile the whole movie. Well, actually, no, I take that back. I probably had a good dream when I fell asleep, and I was probably smiling during that time. But whenever I mean, I was sitting there watching the movie, and I was thinking, can I just watch Cruel Intentions? I mean, I don't know. I hated this movie, and I think this is probably now the top of the list of worst movies that we've ever reviewed. And I'm sure that we're going to get tons of people in the comments blowing it up, saying how I don't know a thing about movies and I should just let people enjoy them. Enjoy your movie if you want to enjoy your movie. I still think it's garbage. You're not going to change my mind. I'm not going to change your mind. Either way, it's not going to change the fact that this is garbage. I give this movie a thumbs down if you didn't know that was coming.
Well, if you haven't guessed, Mike, that is you pretty much what you just said there is going to be cut down a little bit and be all you people will see when they have the shorts, when I finally get the shorts together for this. I'm going to keep all your negative comments so people can rip into it. Because I love it when people like, oh man, like I'm only gonna put the negative. Like, I'm not always gonna put the negative stuff up, but when it's like what you just did, I'm only gonna put the negative stuff up.
Just make sure at the end of it you get this part of me saying, don't remember, people, we do have the you speak re-regurgitate section.
Oh god. Yeah. This movie, I like this movie. I can see why it's influential. I don't like I don't think a movie like this would fly today, but then maybe it would fly today because things are changing. Um and I just always enjoy this. I enjoy this film. I have it on 4K Blu-ray. Um
Mhm.
which I don't do that with every movie. And I think it's just a good time. And I could, like I said, I see movies today like Road Trip. There was one where was it like where what's his face went back to college? Will Ferrell went back to college or something like that, or it's some a college movie that he had to do with. But anyways, they had all these movies that have come out where you could tell that has that Animal House was the blueprint that they followed.
Yeah.
So and it's just got memorable parts. Of course, I used to hang out with some guys. Like one of them literally idolized the Bluto character. Like he had a poster of Bluto on his wall in his living room. So like it was like yeah. So it's I've hung around with people who have insane um respect for this movie and admiration. That's the word I was looking for. An admiration for this movie, and a lot of it has to do with the movie is the music. Like when they're at the we're at the bar and they have the band that's playing there, and like it's just like it's a good choice of music. It's also like it's because it's in the kind of in the ecosystem of the Blues Brothers ecosystem of
Mhm.
like with Landis and all those same people who like did a bunch of movies together. So yeah. So I will give this one a thumbs up. So we disagree on this one. I thought we're gonna make it all the way to the last movie with us giving thumbs up to both, to all of them, and that was it. It would be the one where we would just maybe disagree on, or both give a thumbs down to. But
Well, I don't remember the part with the music in the bar, so maybe that's a part where I fell asleep. But
hey,
I don't care.
yeah, no, they went. There was one part where, was it the fat kid? What's his name? The Honor. Yeah, Otter.
I'm like,
Sorry, it's been a while since I watched the movie like a week ago. So Otter goes and gets the car, and it's his brother's car, and they get a couple girls. The way they get the girls is they go to an old girls' school, and beforehand he reads the newspaper, and he notices that one of the girls from that school just passed away, and he goes to that school and poses as her boyfriend, and he gets pity dates, not only for himself but for the rest of the guys that he's with,
yeah.
because his girlfriend just passed, because as far as they know, his girlfriend passed away. It's really like it's all like scumbag shit, but it's also kind of clever.
Yeah.
Which is, yeah. So yeah, maybe it's because you fell asleep. Maybe you missed the best parts, the parts that might have gotten you interested in it. But if you don't care, you don't care. It's an old.
It was kind of just a mess of it felt like just a mess of random things was going on. And especially the very end with the parade and how the guy led the parade into the alleyway and the car running into everything. And I'm just like, this is just a disaster.
That does lead into, there is a weakness in this movie, and it has to do with, there's a lot of and it's not throughout the movie, which almost kind of ruins it, because it's almost like it's added in on top of scenes that don't really need it, of stuff you normally would find in Naked Gun or Airplane.
Yeah.
Those kind of gag jokes that don't really need to be there, because the comedy, Animal House is more of about us versus them, and the comedy comes from the fact that it's really, this should be more like the Marx Brothers than Airplane, where you have people who don't belong there who are there. Like, dude,
PCU.
have you ever watched the Marx Brothers?
Yeah. But I was just saying PCU on that.
Oh yeah, no. This is,
Yeah, I've seen the Marx Brothers.
yeah. So like, but it was like PCU that you bring that up. PCU is like that. Like, I'm surprised you don't like Animal House, because it's pretty much what, like, PCU is an updated version of Animal House.
Yeah, but PCU feels like it was put together better. I think Animal House feels like it's too broken apart to be enjoyable for me.
And I think might have been that they were trying to write more for write more for John Belushi's character, maybe. I don't know. Might have been politics, the way that, because I know what you mean. Like, there's certain parts of it, like they don't really belong, or as far as that maybe they should have expanded on. Yeah, I know what you mean. But I still enjoy it, because like the fact that this is there's a lot of movies where this is the genesis that led to a lot of other movies coming out.
Yeah.
This is like, even if you don't like Johnny Carson, Carson led to a lot of other shows. This is that type of thing. Yeah.
And I get that, and I'm fine with that. I get that this is an influential movie. It just doesn't mean I have to like it.
Yeah. No, I get you. I get you. Like, when we did when I talked about the Maltese Falcon, I still have it on 4K Blu-ray, and it's still considered like a movie. Like, it's very influential, but I'm not gonna go and, like, if I were to do classic movie nights, it wouldn't be the one I'd open it with.
Yeah.
But even though people would probably say, you should, but I'm like, maybe, it's like, for people studying film, Maltese Falcon, definitely watch it. But if you're just looking to watch movies, like, you can skip it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We ready for you know what? This has been such a tough show to put together. I think it's time for a vacation.
All right, I'll give it to you right about now.
Okay. Vacation is a 1983 road.
National Lampoon's Vacation.
Oh, I thought you were stopping me because you didn't have the picture up. Okay, National Lampoon's Vacation. I'm so sorry. National Lampoon's Vacation is a 1983 road trip comedy starring Chevy Chase as Clark W. Griswold, a determined father who drags his family across the I love that. Drags his family across the country to reach the theme park Wally World. Along the way, everything that can go wrong does, including car trouble, disastrous lounging, family tension, and an unforgettable encounter with Cousin Eddie. The movie blends slapstick comedy, absurd situations, and heartfelt family moments and became the start of a long running film franchise. Is this mine?
This is yours.
I love the Vacation series of movies. From Vacation to Vegas Vacation. I never watched Christmas Vacation 2. I do have some facts on that, which we could go to later if we want to. Um, this is just, it's a fun movie. I haven't seen this in a while, and there's scenes I forgot about. But yeah, the whole thing where, like the dog scene,
Mm-hmm.
as much as like I'm a dog owner, and that scene should really piss me off. It's funny. Poor little guy probably kept up with you for a mile or so.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's just the sick part of the movie. But then when they tell the aunt character, she gets all pissed off at like everything. She doesn't like Clark, which is like a running thing. I think in a lot of these movies where like the father is just never liked by the mother's family. They make it all the way there. And this is one of the movies with John Candy in it where he's playing the security guard and they hold him hostage. And at the end of it, he comes out and he's like, "Man, you're great. Your park is really great."
I didn't get sick at all.
He held up. What's that?
I didn't get sick at all.
Yeah, I know. Get sick at all. And like this is our family's first hostage taking. It reminded me of a Christmas Vacation. They kidnap cousin Eddie kidnaps the boss, and his wife goes and says, "I'm sorry, this is our family's first kidnapping."
Yeah.
So it's a callback, and then like what to me when now it's a call forward because I've seen all the movies, but it's just yeah, it was the creation of a great series. I love that the kids are always different in every one of the movies. You ever notice that?
Yes.
They always have different actors playing the kids, and I think in one movie, like one is older, and in another movie, the other one's older.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like so. Like, there's no consistency when it comes to the children, and there's really not a lot of consistency in it at all, really, other than the fact that I think he always works for the same company. What is it? No, he doesn't.
No, I don't.
No, he works for different companies too. So the only consistency is that it's always the Griswolds and it's always Chevy Chase and Beverly D'Angelo. Other than that, the family has no other consistency.
Where's Randy Quaid?
Oh yeah, Randy Quaid. Well, also the guy. I think no, they changed the wife too, don't they?
I think they do.
Yeah. So it's like there's only 3 people who are in all of these movies, and everybody else gets changed. And
Well, I don't think Randy Quaid was in European Vacation.
Yeah, he's not in European Vacation. European Vacation, that's one that we should do at some point. Maybe like if we could find oh shoot, we already did Spice Girls. That would have been perfect to put with Spice Girls.
Leave a comment if you want us to do Spice Girls again. We'll
No,
be
sure.
happy to watch it again.
But my thoughts on Vacation. Vacation gets a thumbs up. It's not the best in the series. The best in the series is always going to be Christmas Vacation, but Vacation is probably the second best in the series. Thumbs up.
Okay, so for me, National Lampoon's Vacation is kind of like a required watch. And I watched as a kid, but of course I watched the TV version of it, so it was the edited version.
You didn't get to see Beverly D'Angelo in all her glory?
I did not, but I still got the good parts. That actually didn't sound nice to her, and I didn't mean it in that way.
The parts in the movie do not her topless are the better parts of the movie. Got it.
Yeah. So, but I disagree with you on one thing. I think that this is the best, and each one after has kind of gone down in quality, but they all have been enjoyable to where I don't have a problem with sitting down and watching any of them. I think what you mentioned with Christmas Vacation is weak, but it has a lot of good and memorable parts. But Vacation, I love how it starts. The snowball on the hill is when they bring the car in, or their old car in to get the new one, and they roll it back out because he wants it back since he was getting the wrong car, and it's just completely destroyed. And it's just everything just gets worse and worse and worse and worse as it goes along.
Remember when
Um,
they're stopping for directions, and
oh yeah,
the guy just keeps them distracted while his buddies are taking all their hubcaps,
yep,
and they pay him, and he tells them, "I don't even know what you're asking me for." Go
yep,
up to the other guy.
yep,
And he's like, "Well, thank you. You've been very helpful." No, he wasn't. He wasn't helpful at all. And also, like, you're in, like, dude, who needs directions out of the city? Unless you're like stuck in a spot where you keep going past the same spot over and over again because of like the way the traffic is set up. But
That's actually funny that you mentioned that, because that just made me think of European Vacation when they're going around in circles and, hey kid, Big Ben, Parliament.
oh yeah, there I kind of understand it because some people don't understand how to do traffic circles. But like
Yeah,
a roundabout, I'm sorry, a roundabout is a type of traffic circle, and okay, there's a whole thing. I don't want to go into it.
just let it go. Just let it go.
Yeah, look up Roadside Bob or whatever his name is, and I'm sure he has an episode on it. Um, but with Clark, it's like he just gets determined to do things a certain way, and he's always trying to recreate these childhood memories. And then halfway through the movie, he talks about how horrible his childhood was and how they never had fun. And I'm like, well, then why are you trying to recreate this shit?
Mm-hmm. I mean, he's recreating, I guess, what it should have been.
Yeah, well, I guess, yeah, he's trying to do the ideal thing of what he in his mind. If only his parents had done it this way, it would have been better.
Mm.
I guess, but it's like, dude, like you're going across country. I get it, but we live in an age where if you only have 2 weeks, you're gonna have to fly
Mhm.
because unless you are traveling by yourself, it's gonna take you that long probably to get to California.
Mhm.
Even if everything works out fine, because people have to use the bathroom all the time on a
Yeah,
road trip.
yeah. It's actually, speaking of that, I gotta say one of my favorite parts in this movie is when they're eating the sandwiches at the park and they smell the sandwiches and they realize that the dog peed on the sandwiches, and
And
he
he's
gets
checking her.
in this look like, okay, I'll just keep going.
Oh, yeah, with the aunt. Yep,
Mhm.
yep. And then Chevy, he kept like looking with Christy Brinkley. Was that the girl?
Yes.
Yeah, she kept showing up in the movie as like his I don't know, like traveling companion in a way of yeah, the hot chick that he's like every time is like, oh yeah, no, I'm undercover with the CIA.
Mhm.
Oh no, no, he said I used to be in the CIA.
Yeah.
He like hits her with like the most ridiculous story, and then I don't know if she believes it or just believes it enough where she's willing to go and like be a homewrecker. Um,
Yeah, I don't think she did. I think that she knew it was crap, but it was just one of those things that's just so off the wall that guys do.
yep,
That's like, I'll give you the credit for actually having the nuts to throw this one out.
yeah, and then I'll help you cheat on your wife, and then what? Blackmail him with the knowledge, or do you just get your kicks off of that? Because I'm sure that's something that some people probably do. I think it was there was the motivation really.
Well, maybe she was part of the KGB, and
And then she's looking for all these CIA agents. Yes, okay.
you're like, I can extract information, comrade.
And like after he's sleeping, after they sleep together, she looks through his IDs like, Shit, another fake. This is the third one this week.
Another mole planted, dummy planted.
So
Yeah, so basically, yeah, I'm gonna give this one a thumbs up as well too. And actually, the Wally World, the amusement park is Magic. Is it Magic Mountain in Los Angeles that I've been to, and the big roller coaster, the big wooden roller coaster they go on.
yep.
It's called the Colossus. I don't think it's any longer there, but I got a chance to go on that, and then I was actually really excited to go on it. And the thing broke down when I was like 2 people from getting on it. And it had a long line, dude. It had like a 45-minute line.
You know, every time I've been to Universal Studios, something there was broken, and it's always one of the big rides.
Yep.
And I've only been there twice, and it was before Harry Potter universe, so I have no idea what that's like, but I hear it's insanely awesome. But yeah, so I went there like the first time, and like the Jaws ride was broken,
Mm-hmm.
but I was able to go. No, and also King Kong was broken too. And then when I went the second time, Jaws was open, but King Kong wasn't.
Yeah.
So I did see the Jaws one. I did go. I went on like a bunch of them. Like the one that scarred me for life though was the Birds in 3D. Do not bring a child that goes through the Birds in 3D.
So now, was
It
that
took me a
worse than
long
Dread Out?
time to get over that.
So Ben, was that worse than Dread Out?
Dread Out?
Yeah, Dread Out. Remember the game you played in October
Oh shoot! Is that the one with the jump scare?
with the guy vomiting all over the place?
Yeah. Well, that's different. I wasn't wearing 3D glasses in a dark room where that was the only thing that I could pay attention to.
Okay, I'll make sure that when Dread Out 3D comes out, that'll be your next Watch Ben Die, so you don't have to.
Are you gonna buy me the 3D helmet and everything?
You know what? I will buy you 3D glasses. I will buy you a helmet as well, and I'm gonna buy you a little headset so you can play. You don't have to hold the microphone like you hold a microphone anyway, and
I'm gonna buy you a little headset. I'm just thinking like Steve Austin say like, and I'm gonna buy you a little headset so you don't have to hold your little microphone.
and I'm gonna buy you a little ghost lady with her hair over her face and the white dress, ring style, to be like right behind you the whole time.
Oh Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes Benz? My friends all drive Porsches. I must make amends. All right.
All right, so we done with that one. We're on to the next one, I believe, right?
Yep. And we're also
thumbs up for that word. I should have.
we're strongly hinting that we're going to be doing the other vacation movies at some point. The other National Lampoon vacation movies.
Yes, very good. It's good that you actually called Vacation the right title.
Well, then there's also Vegas Vacation, which is not National Lampoons. You want to hear about that now?
No.
No, but I got like.
Oh, no, go ahead. No, go ahead. You got a fact?
I do have facts about this. Okay.
Go ahead.
So I asked, why isn't Vegas Vacation a National Lampoons film? Long story short, National Lampoons. Okay, so the vacation movies are owned by Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers was leasing the National Lampoon's name to use for movies, and they just lost the rights to the lease, and they didn't renew it. But that brings into another question. They released National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation 2, which came out after the lease would lapse. How did that happen? That was released by National Lampoons, not by Warner Brothers, which is probably why it sucks so much. And Warner Brothers allowed National Lampoons the rights to use the Cousin Eddie character along with all the people in his universe, but not including the Griswolds.
So it doesn't have any of the Griswolds. It's about Cousin Eddie.
It's only about Cousin Eddie.
Gotcha. Because I haven't seen that one.
Me neither. It's one of those. It was not even straight to. It was a made for TV movie for NBC. So that's how far down it is. It's not even like videotape.
So Ben,
What the?
it's straight to the recycle bin.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Yep.
All right, so we ready for the next one?
Yes. Now it keeps reminding me of that one scene from Reckless Kelly. We got to do that movie one day.
All right.
Our movies are so good, our movies are so good, they bypass the theaters and they go straight to videotape. Really? That's how I remember as far as I remember. I haven't seen that movie in like 30 years. Okay.
All right, the next one is up.
The next one is called Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is a 1987 holiday comedy starring Steve Martin and John Candy. The story follows Neil Page, a stressed businessman trying to get home to Chicago for Thanksgiving. His plans are derailed when he crosses paths with Del Griffith, an overly friendly shower curtain ring salesman. The two are forced into a cross-country journey filled with travel delays, bad luck, bizarre lodging, and unexpected detours. Beneath the chaos is a heartfelt story about friendship and compassion, making it one of the most beloved Thanksgiving films of all time. It's also one of the few, so it's pretty easy to become one of the best.
That's true. That's true.
One of
Ironically,
the three that exist, this is the best one.
ironically, the next three are about Thanksgiving that we're doing, and then I think
Yeah.
there's only like a couple more in the world that are about Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Okay, so I thought when I believe you're the one that mentioned this one, um, I thought I hadn't seen it, but as I was watching it, I realized I've seen this movie, but this is one of those movies that I've seen in parts here and there, and had never really sat down and watched it from the very beginning to the very end. Um, and I while I was watching it, all the parts were coming back to me. And I realized this is a fantastic movie because you can do that. It's good to watch it from beginning to end, but this is one of those you could pick it up in the middle, or you could just watch it for a short time. Either way, you're going to get a lot of enjoyment out of it because it's written in a way where it doesn't depend on you having to watch the whole thing, because each segment, each event that happens is just its own good event on its own.
It's almost written like episodes of a TV show.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah. Every single time it's an incident where it just happens to be the same two guys interacting with each other, and it's part of the journey.
Yeah.
And yeah, each one could stand on its own, which does add to the fact that, yeah, you could watch this movie in parts and get the full enjoyment out of it. Yeah, you got more to say. I'm sorry.
Oh, I do have more to say. No, that's okay. I think that also being with, Steve Martin and John Candy are always a great team, because Steve Martin seems to have this real serious kind of intellectual feel to his comedy style, how he does his character. And his characters feel a little bit more, I want to say, rigid and businessman like, whereas John Candy is kind of the opposite, where it's a very loose comedy feel that's more on a goofy and just more, overall just kind of relaxed fun. And the two of them clashing in this movie work out so well. There's no way that you're not gonna like the character of John Candy, but there's also no way you're not gonna you're going to like some of the stuff that he does, where it's like, the in bed where he's getting ready to go to sleep and he's doing those like snoring exercises, and you just feel for Steve Martin's character at that point and why he would go nuts. But then Steve Martin, being the more rigid type of comedy person, does a good job of being the jerk comedian. And that comes off really well in that specific scene. So the two of them just work absolutely brilliantly together. And it especially shines in this movie. Now, one of the scenes that I'll never forget, I mean, watching them, like, oh my gosh, I remember this scene by scene, was the car going between the two trucks, the car catching on fire, and then how the car looked afterwards. And it's just a classic scene when they get pulled over and the cop is asking if he thinks that the car is safe to drive on the road. And they're like, yeah, I think it's absolutely safe.
I thought it was safe.
Funny, after I watched this, like 2 days after I watched this, I got a call from Maria, and all she said was, my car came apart. What had happened was like a part of the underbody where they're doing an oil change came off while she was driving. I pictured her driving that car at that point in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Now, another thing that I really like about this movie is, yes, it's a comedy, but when you get to that end and you find out more about John Candy's character and what's really going on with him, it does a really good job of being this fun comedy to now a feel-good drama type of movie. And you get to that end, it's just, you feel like so much relief because these two went through so much, and it's like these two are great friends at this point. And, you know, John Candy's character has a place to be at that point, has basically a family at that point. And it just feels good in the end. So, and I think that with the comedy and with that ending, it is a definite thumbs up and a definite recommendation to see. And then one last thing I wanted to add was there was a scene where John Candy's character was selling the shower curtain rings like anybody. And one of the girls, there's like a scene with 3 girls. One of the girls who puts out her hand, I believe she was the roommate of my sister in college, and mentioned that like every single time that movie would play on the air, she'd get royalties for that.
That's
So
cool.
that's not a bad deal.
Well, that's like the whole thing, that story that Arnie Lang always says about Elf, because he's like he plays one of the Santa Clauses in the Elf movie. He's like that 5 minutes of screen time, he gets like a royalty check like every single Christmas for like thousands of dollars.
That's a good deal.
Yeah. So he like, how old is Elf? Elf's like what, it's like 20 years old at least.
Yeah.
So you're still getting paid on that. That's really good. I
Or that money doesn't go as far now as it did back then, but hey, you know what? It's nice to get.
Yeah, I mean, like, streaming is probably cut into that because, like, how many people are out buying Elf on Blu-ray anymore? You know, at least not buying it new. I bought it used at the Goodwill. So,
Yeah.
as for Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, I watched a review of this from the Nostalgia Critic, and that's the most I think it was from him. And he is so in depth with it that I kind of like recognized a lot of stuff as I was watching the film, because I'm pretty sure I've never watched this before, but it's either because the Nostalgia Critic was so in depth or I have seen this before, because a lot of it seemed very familiar as I was watching it, including I'm like halfway through the movie, I'm like, oh, his wife died. That's right.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, wait a minute, why do I know that?
I want to point out that I was trying not to mention that to spoil the movie,
Oh, sorry.
but you know, that's the whole
You don't know who he is, though. With the minor character, it has nothing to do with the major plot point there. But yeah, this movie was very good. It took me a while to get this to start watching it, because I not that because I didn't think I was going to like it, but because I knew I was going to like it, and I knew this is a classic, and this is a movie that if I'm going to be watching it, I really shouldn't have anything else to do while I'm watching it. And I ended up watching it yesterday. I came back from vacation, and we were trying to watch it while I was up there, and we couldn't. It just didn't work out. Where actually we got it going, but nobody wanted to watch a movie, so never happened. And so as soon as I got home, I watched the Plane, Trains, and Automobiles, and it was just, I was told that it was a heart-wrenching movie, and it kind of is when you get to the end, when you see everything that goes on with that. And throughout it, though, it's like you could just imagine how bad something's gonna get, and sure enough, in the next scene, it happens.
Yeah.
And the car catching on fire, and them constantly getting to places, and there's no hotel rooms for some reason or another. The planes, trains, and automobiles has to do with the fact that those are the three modes of transportation. They could have also said on foot. That happened a little bit as well.
True.
But that was like that's how they got around. Also, buses. They don't mess with buses, but that might be actually technically a bus and automobile.
You're gonna have the planes, trains, automobiles, buses, boats, hovercrafts, helicopters.
Public transportation and more. Yes, they took every single thing other than a horse and buggy.
The space shuttle, you know.
Space shuttle. They're trying to get back to Jupiter instead of Chicago. If you notice, this movie, I believe, was also a John Landis film, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I did notice this. I know where you're going with this.
The house is the same house that Kevin McAllister was Home Alone in, as well as several other movies that are from the same people.
Interesting. Okay, so that's not where I thought you were going with it. I thought you were leaning into the next one.
Oh, because the next one is also John Landis?
Yes.
Oh, and that would be the third one because John Landis also did Animal House.
Oh, okay. Wow. So John, this is not only the Thanksgiving special, this is a John Landis special on the BM show.
Yeah, because let's see here. So how do we connect Madhouse to the other ones?
Drugs?
And you have, I just think it'd be like Animal House. Well, Animal House ties in with Vacation because they're both National Lampoon.
They really are. We don't have to have a tie-in.
I know, it's just fun to do.
But there is actually a tie-in that's coming up very soon that I have a fact for you.
Sorry. Well,
let me know. Are you ready for the next one?
We are ready for the next one. Tell me when you're up.
It's up.
Dutch is a 1991 Thanksgiving-themed comedy starring Ed O'Neill as Dutch Dooley, a working-class man who volunteers to bring his girlfriend's snobbish teenage son home from prep school for the holiday. Their simple road trip quickly turns into a disaster as the boy resists every step of the way. Dutch and Dooley find themselves dealing with stolen cars, lost money, hitchhiking, and constant arguing. Through the chaos, the two slowly build an unexpected bond. The film is known for its mix of heartfelt emotion and rough edge comedy. Is this me?
This is you.
I've seen this before when I was a kid. This was a movie I used to confuse with Over the Top because it's a very similar story. Done different ways though. This one was very good. And there are elements of the story that show character like arcs that are just amazing, especially with the boy Doyle.
That's where I was going to go too.
Doyle's character transition is just amazing, and you could see it slowly and slowly and slowly and slowly. The heartbreak when Dutch says, "What do you care about your mother? You hate her. You hate her anyways." And he goes, "Does she really think I hate her?" And you could, and like as a son with a mother, you feel that of like, what if your mother actually thought you hated her? How would that make you feel? And you would be like devastated. There's this woman who like, I mean, yeah, we argue or maybe we don't get along all the time, but I don't hate her. And yeah, it was, it's funny. It's got a lot of great moments. I love how Ed O'Neill's character is kind of like, I don't care who you are. And the whole time, like, he's a contractor, a successful contractor nonetheless. He's got money, but he's trying to teach this kid, like, because he didn't grow, like, he grew into the money. He grew up making him, he grew his own business up. He didn't like, nobody handed it to him. So he's a self-made man, and he's trying to teach Doyle, like, this is what I had to do without telling him this is what I had to do. He's literally just showing him instead of telling him, like, this is like, I had to do shit like this. And now I don't have to, but I'm showing you this is what I had to do as a way of roughening you up because the kid's just like, he's a dick. He's a total dick through most of the movie, but it's like, it's the dick versus the asshole because Dutch is an ass.
True.
And it's a heartwarming movie when he sees his mom and he blows his dad off because he finally realizes that his dad's an asshole. Like I mean, I'm calling Dutch an asshole, but like Dutch is like an asshole, like my cousin's an asshole. My cousin's a good guy, but he's still like he'll tell you how it is.
Well, his dad's a scumbag.
Yeah, that's a scumbag. Thank you for the clarification. So there's a different type of asshole. He's a scumbag. Uh, then he realizes his father's a scumbag, but that Dutch is like the real deal. Like this is the guy who is gonna stay there. He's gonna be there. He's a foundation, and but he's not gonna hold your hand.
Mm-hmm.
But when you fall, he will pick you up. That type of thing. But yeah, so I give it a thumbs up. Dutch, highly recommended.
Okay, so I'm going to start off with the fact, and then I'm going to talk about what I want to say with the movie. Fact: the character who plays, or the person that plays Doyle, the kid, also is Nick Papagiorgio in Vegas Vacation.
Ah.
Yeah, he plays Rusty Griswold.
Oh, he's one of the children from the Vacation movies. Okay.
Yeah, and it's a very different role than in Dutch. And this movie is a classic gem that also I don't think is very well known. And it definitely should be. This is also John Landis, and it's very similar to Planes, Trains, and Automobiles if you think about it. So it kind of feels like Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, as great as that was, is kind of a rough draft to what Dutch became the end, because I think Dutch does the whole drama aspect a lot better.
It's almost like if you took Planes, Trains, and Automobiles and crossed it with Over the Top.
There you go. Okay, that works. Which we don't know.
I was watching. I didn't mention this, but I was watching Dutch. I kept thinking we should have done this with Over the Top, because it's the similar stories where Over the Top is like he's the actual father and he doesn't know him, but they're both preppy kids who are both pains in the ass, and they learn to love the father figure by the end of the movie.
Yeah, and the character of Doyle, the actor does such a great job of being of you just not liking him at all at the beginning to or at the end. He's just a great kid, and you really like him at that point. And it makes this movie interesting because this movie feels like it has an antagonist for part of the movie, which is Doyle. And then as Doyle becomes a better person, you introduce a new antagonist, which happens to be the father, which he was there in the picture, but then he starts to play a bigger role when Doyle realizes that his father lied to him.
This is one of the things I was thinking about this morning, was the father. And I'm like, what? Like he's Shooter McGavin from Happy Gilmore. His name is Christopher McDonald. Is it actual? But I'm like, that's like every time I see him, I think Shooter McGavin.
Mm-hmm.
But that was cool that he was. Like I was trying to remember what movie it was that he was in that I watched. Because I'm thinking about it this morning, like trying to organize my thoughts for our conversation tonight. And I'm like, what was that other movie that we watched? It had Shooter McGavin in it. Is that O'Neill?
So, yeah, this is one I definitely recommend that everyone should definitely see.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's one that's easy to miss, and ironically it's one that's it's really hard to see now, because I think something happened with it, and you probably would know better and could get more information on this better, where it's not available to see really in the US, I think, or something like that. It's been like taken off of a whole bunch of places, so it's like it started to like not exist here.
According to Just Watch, in the U.S., the film is not currently available to stream. It was previously on HBO Max and Amazon. Reddit users report frustration that the movie was unavailable last year, but now has disappeared due to licensing issues. You could buy it on DVD, but you cannot buy it on licensing.
Yeah, that's disappointing because it's such a great movie.
Mm.
Hopefully something will happen and it'll start appearing again.
So this is a movie where you want to keep a lookout at your local Goodwill or whatever thrift store chains you have nearby. And if you see it on disc, grab it because it's going to be worth something. Like I talk about this over and over where like I bought that copy of PCU for $1, brought it home, looked it up on eBay, and it was $20.
Yeah.
I didn't sell it because I actually need the PCU for my collection, but
Yeah.
I did buy. I think I did do it with another copy of PCU that I did find, and I didn't sell it for 20, but I sold it for like 11. So I still made something up.
So how memorable is this movie really? Maria's seen it. Maria loves it. And to this day, we still joke about, I don't have a ma, I have a mother. So that's like the classic line between her and I.
Yeah,
I'm going to definitely give this one an absolute thumbs up.
yeah, that kid was such a prick.
Yeah.
I give it a thumbs up as well. Yeah, he was like correcting people and their grammar. It's like, dude, were you ever a child?
Mm. And I also like the one kid that came in to because his mom wanted to invite Doyle to come to dinner, and then he's like, and the kid's like, is that a no? He's like, that's a definite no. He's like, okay, have fun rotting by yourself, or whatever he said.
Yeah, yeah. This is him. Like, this is my last attempt to be nice to you. You can go fuck off now.
And you could tell that when he was doing it, he didn't want to do it.
Yeah. Oh, do you think like his mother told him? Oh, I catch it. Like, why don't you ask that boy if he wants to come to dinner? Mom, I don't want. Oh, come on, go ask him. Oh,
Which is actually ironic, because if you think about that, that's going to lead into our next movie,
oh, God.
our surprise movie. So, okay. So I think we're done with Dutch, right?
We're done with Dutch. Yeah, Dutch is a good one. Go watch it.
So surprise movie here. So we were, Ben sent me an image about Thanksgiving movies, loved Thanksgiving movies. And it had Planes, Trains, and Automobiles and Dutch on it. It also had another movie on there. And as soon as I saw them, like, oh my gosh, that's right. That is a Thanksgiving movie. And since we're doing the Thanksgiving special, why don't we go ahead and add that to the list?
Yeah, why
So
don't
we did. Are you ready for this, Ben?
Yep.
No problem.
Son-in-Law is a 1993 comedy starring Pauly Shore as Crawl, an eccentric California college student who is invited to spend Thanksgiving at a family farm of his friend Becca, played by Carla Gugino. To calm her conservative family, Becca pretends she and Crawl are engaged, which throws the entire household into confusion. Crawl tries to fit into farm life, causing a series of comedic disasters while gradually winning over the family. The movie blends fish out of water humor with a Thanksgiving backdrop. Is this mine or yours?
This is mine. And that's actually kind of incorrect. It was the reason why that all happened with them being engaged was because her boyfriend was going to propose to her.
Yeah, they and left that out of the summary. But yeah, it's because her boyfriend was going to propose, and she doesn't like him. In fact, you can kind of. I know I'm sorry, I'm taking your time here, but like you can kind of tell through the whole movie that she kind of likes Pauly Shore for some reason.
Yeah. Okay, so let me go ahead and start.
Okay.
So watching this now, this movie is actually really really good movie. It's an exceptional movie, except it has one major flaw to it.
Pauly Shore.
Or that's Pauly Shore. And no, I'm serious, because everyone else does a really good job in this movie.
Yeah,
Um,
it's a great cast minus him.
The problem is Pauly Shore, and other actors do this too. Jim Carrey the same way. Pauly Shore doesn't focus on being an actor. Pauly Shore is a character, and he has to be that character in every single movie. And there's actually proof in this movie that if Pauly Shore wasn't Pauly Shore the character, it would have been so much better. And some of the best lines are actually delivered by Pauly Shore when Pauly Shore is not being Pauly Shore. It had, okay, so Son-in-Law, and I totally forgot about the scene until I watched it again, has an absolute just amazing scene. And it's when Becca's getting ready to go back home at the Halloween party. And he brings Becca into his room to talk with her. And Pauly Shore delivers. This actually happens twice, where this situation happens. Pauly Shore delivers such a good um line and good message that the other characters in it, their writing is so poor afterwards because there isn't a way to recover from how good it is. And that's where she gets up to walk out, and he like pushes her back, which, I mean, the way he did it, he might as well just like punched her. It looked like he was going to do or something, or like hit her with a bat, because he was pretty forceful pushing her back. And he delivers a line that was like, how do you know you don't fit in? You're not even here. You're still there. And he delivered that in such a good actor way. It was not Pauly Shore at all.
Mm.
And the only response that you could get was the character Becca. All she could do was like, you're right. That's all they could write back to that. And then of course he went back to being Pauly Shore. The next time this happened was when he was fishing with the father. And he delivered it kind of in a Pauly Shore way, but kind of got out of that when he was talking about like where the dad was talking about the video games, and Pauly Shore is saying that's what he's into. He's not asking you to do it. So, and he's basically saying give him his space, because that's the thing he enjoys. And the dad, the line that they can only come back with was like, what was the line? Well, it doesn't matter, or well, who cares, or something like that. They were just well written lines that you don't really have a good way to counter back at them. And he did them very well. And if you would have done the movie that whole way, it would have been a whole lot better.
Mm.
But he had to get his Pauly Shore in, because that's what people were expecting, and that's what's making him the fish out of water. It worked back then in the 90s, but it doesn't work now. However, with that being said, I did say that this is a really, really good movie. So I kind of have to give it a thumbs up. Even with Paul, if you can get around Pauly Shore being Pauly Shore, you're going to enjoy it. If you can't, then you're probably not going to watch it, or not going to want to watch it. But it's still a good movie. Now, one thing that I picked up on watching it this time, which I never caught before, was the tattoo scene where she was talking with Flea about getting the tattoo, and she said she wanted something something feminine. And Flea said, "You're standing right next to him." What I never caught was Flea motioned his head in the direction of Pauly Shore, where I thought Flea was kind of like making a comment about himself. And then Pauly Shore comes back with, the ink gets in their skin, and then they freak out. And I wonder if that scene was ad-libbed as being kind of a, hey, let's kind of make fun of each other, or if that was something that was written. Because once I got it, I was like, ooh, he kind of just punched Pauly Shore in the gut right there. So, but anyway,
Yeah.
that's my take on it, which is kind of surprising.
I would bet you that Carla Gugino probably had a tattoo already on that spot on her leg. And
Probably.
this was just like a reason to go and say, this is why I have a tattoo, so they don't have to worry about makeup on it later.
Yeah.
Which I wish they would do a lot more in TV shows and movies, other than just like, because they'll be like an actor or an actress, and they have a prominent tattoo, but in the movie they don't have it. And it's like, if this is there, if you're hiring them, unless it's like completely against the character, just throw in some dumb scene and just, this is why the tattoo is there, or some throwaway line,
Kind of like I was created by a creature of darkness. Oh, then why do you have an I love mom tattoo on your arm? That kind of stuff where it doesn't fit.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff where it doesn't fit. But if it's something like, she's supposed to be a goody good girl and she, the actress happens to have a tattoo on her leg, here you went and say, you know what, part of her turn to the crazy Pauly Shore side is she first thing she does is get a tattoo. Yeah, now we don't have to worry about covering up the tattoo on her leg.
Yeah.
Saves us a bunch of money on makeup. And it adds to the character arc because she's the one who has kind of the character arc in this, along with the family. I don't really like Pauly Shore. It took a lot. This movie reminded me a lot of Cool as Ice.
Mm-hmm.
It reminded me a ton of that. Almost like if they took Pauly Shore out and added Vanilla Ice into the same role, it would probably have been a better movie.
I like kind of love to see that now.
Vanilla Ice and Son-in-Law, a total remake. With AI, we could do that. We can make that possible. The girl here just reminded me a lot of the character that from Cool as Ice. Is like this. It was very similar. These are, I think, very similar movies in a lot of respects, where he ended up winning the family over. I mean, the father and Cool as Ice, he had like some mafia ties or something, which was a different story, but or whatever it was, something to do with cops. I forget what it was. Like he knew some dirt on cops or something, and he got him in trouble, and they wanted to get him back. Do you remember? Yeah.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
So there's nothing like that here. Here we have Lane Smith. Lane Smith was Perry White in Lois and Clark: The New Adventures of Superman. And Perry Clark is the guy who runs the Daily Planet. So I kind of marked out a little bit when I saw him. I'm like, Perry White's in this.
Mm-hmm.
I think the girl, Carla Gugino, I think she's gorgeous. I think she was a great casting choice. Yeah, everybody other than Pauly Shore were great casting choices. Like, I want to say, like, what are some positives about the movies? Carla Gugino, Lane Smith, Sidney Pickett, Mason Adams, Tiffany Amber Thiessen. What's negative about the movie? Pauly Shore.
Yeah, exactly.
And maybe he's a blast to work with. I don't know how he is, like, if you just hang out with the guy. Maybe he's awesome to hang out with. If he's like this all the time, he's not.
I think I think it has to be a character because it all started with MTV.
Yeah. Yeah, because
So-
I don't think there's no way this guy has like any friends if this is what he's like 24 hours a day. This got to be an act that he puts on because the whole buddy and it would just get on anybody's nerves, I would think.
Exactly.
Yeah. It'd probably get on his nerves if he had to hang out with that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, I get it. I'm annoying. That sounds like a bit from Family Guy. It's like that one time when Pauly Shore, I had to hang out with Pauly Shore and started to hate Pauly Shore.
Mm.
Are we done with this one?
What's your take?
Oh, I was gonna give it a thumbs down, but hearing your review, you kind of turned me around on it because I do think, other than Pauly Shore, it actually is not a bad movie.
Yeah.
He's just he kills every scene he's in, and not in the positive killing kind of way.
Almost every scene. Seriously, go back and watch those two scenes with the fishing and watch the part where she's about to leave and just listen to how he delivers those lines. I think that you'll have a turnaround on those parts.
Well, maybe because there he's actually like reading a script and not like just doing whatever he wants. Anytime they let him, it seems like they let him do what he wants. And so whenever they let him do that is when it falls off the rails. Which is why I think if Vanilla Ice was in this role, not only would it be pretty much a carbon copy of his previous film, it would be better though. Or did that movie come out after this one?
I think I think Cool as Ice came out before. I think Cool as Ice was like 91 or so, 92. I don't know. That's a good question. But I just envisioned, hey city folk, you ready to go do some farming? Oh yeah.
And then
I
they
can
got
see
the
that. That would be great with Vanilla Ice.
Cool as Ice came out in 1991. So yeah, so Cool as Ice came out before this, which might have led to this movie even coming out because they might have seen like, okay, well, we got a similar movie as the Vanilla Ice project that came out a couple of years ago, and we're kind of looking to put Pauly Shore in it. And after they laughed for 15 minutes, he went and said, "No, seriously, what's your proposal?" Uh, Pauly Shore.
Yeah.
Did we do Biodome yet?
We have not done Biodome. Now, actually, one thing I want to say about Son-in-Law I forgot to mention. I did like how you could kind of tell how, you know, each member of the family were adjusting to him or starting to like him based off of how they reacted to the father and the situation, especially when the father was like, calls him crotch and then crap and all these other names. I thought that was great.
Yeah. Um, I do think that some of the turns to liking him were a little sudden.
Yeah.
Like the son all of a sudden becoming a fan of his will happen in 2.3 seconds. He's just like, "Here, I fixed your computer. You're the greatest." When like 2 seconds ago he was like, "I don't want you in my room. I don't want you looking at me. I don't want you breathing." He was like just hated him. And like now the
He like sexually harassed the mother.
yeah. He's like, "Man, like I don't know if you mind me telling you this, but I really want to fuck you."
Yeah, exactly. That's essentially what he said.
I know. And I'm like, dude, if I said that to anybody, if anybody said that to anybody, unless you were like the best looking man on the fucking planet, and you probably wouldn't even get away with it then.
Yeah.
You're fucking Pauly Shore, for Christ's sake. You look like you're a homeless guy they just picked up off the street. And you're gonna say this to this woman? What the F, man? I'm like, like he's just so bad. He is so bad that like, yeah, I was gonna give this movie a thumbs down simply because how bad he is. That
Yeah, here's the problem with it.
he is. He is the
Oh.
problem with it. He's the problem with any movie he's in. It's like
I think it just deserves kind of like a light thumbs up.
yes, it gets a light thumbs up. I'll give it to him because I think that Carla Gugino did a great job where she could play both the conservative goody girl and then kind of the crazy party girl, but like never overly party. Like
No, that's not cheap. Dude, how like what was she thinking when she came off the airplane in that outfit to her parents, where she has like this total see-through top and a bra underneath?
yeah, that's true. But I guess that was like also like the show Mom and Dad and I Changed. But then after she's home for a little bit, she gets a little bit more conservative again.
Yeah, true.
So she's doing a good job where she's actually following what actually might happen with a girl who's never seen the outside world, now seeing the outside world, meeting a eccentric person like a Pauly Shore, what might happen, and then she brings it back a little bit when she gets home.
You could say that she's following the rhythms of her environment while still keeping a balance with everything.
Yes. And then like with the family and like the father, like I guess he slowly warmed up to him.
Mhm.
And there's also the fact that like, Crawl or Pauly, we'll just keep calling him Pauly Shore. Pauly Shore, yeah, he decided that like he's good. He actually like starts taking the farming seriously.
Mhm.
Was impressive to the father as well, though Theo, I guess, didn't give a shit the entire time because he still double crossed him.
Mhm.
They double crossed my girl. She was full blown Kelly Kapowski in the beginning of the movie, and then she became more Valerie.
She became Kelly Cosby.
Well, that would be Valerie from 90210. So you could actually see like her go from Kelly Kapowski to Valerie, whatever her last name was, I forget in 90210. Throughout the movie. Actually, let me look that up. Who did Tiffany Thiessen? Oh, I can't even spell Thiessen right. Thiessen play in 90210. She, come on. There we go. Played Valerie Malone. So she went from Kelly Kapowski to Valerie Malone in this movie, where first she's kind of like cute and stuff, and she looks like Kelly, and she talks like Kelly, and she even kind of reacts like Kelly Kapowski does. But then like she's like a stripper.
That's something interesting about her character in this movie is you like her character, but if you really think about it, you shouldn't like her character because she's sleeping with the boyfriend of the main girl, and she's also friends with that main girl, like best friends with that main girl.
But then you just think it's it's the girl from Saved by the Bell.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
girl from that
You have to like her, even though she's doing this really bad stuff.
because we're predetermined. I like Tiffany Amber Thiessen or Tiffany Thiessen. She's one of the few celebrities that I follow on social media, and I just even to this day I think she's gorgeous.
As I can't stand Pauly Shore.
And I can't stand Pauly Shore. And yeah, he alone could ruin a movie for me. He's like, here's a movie, it's the story you always wanted to see, starring all your favorite actors and Pauly Shore. Damn it.
That's a good way to put it.
Damn it. Damn it. A new Pauly Shore joint. So I guess we're both giving these I'm giving it a slight thumbs up and you're giving it a solid thumbs up.
I'm giving it an almost solid thumbs up. I think I'm close to where you are. It's just one of those. Everything else is good. It's just that one thing kills it. Thumbs up.
Yeah. So I think it's one of those movies where like if you're on a free streaming site and this is one of the movies they offer, it's not a horrible choice. But if you're on like Netflix, you got other things you can watch.
If you got to pay for it, then don't.
Yeah, if you're paying for it, go pay for something. Go watch something else that you're paying for. Like if it's part of your subscription. Like I said, if it's on Netflix, go watch Wednesday or something. I got the first season of Wednesday. I gotta watch that.
Yeah.
What's that?
Ben, go watch Madhouse because you can't watch Dutch.
I know. That's crazy that you can't find Dutch anywhere. My ChatGPT offered to go further into it, but I'm like, we've chased enough rabbit holes today. Rabbit trails. Down enough rabbit holes. I don't know. We're racing going down rabbit trails with the rabbit holes and holes with the trails, and I think the editor is droning the music in. I think it's time for us to start wrapping things.
All right, perfect. So that brings us to whoever gets the last word.
Oh, what are we doing next week?
Oh, that's right. Thank you. We are doing comfort games next week.
With
And I'm waiting just to hear back to confirm. Chandler from Low Caldane is going to join us again for comfort games.
Yes, and now we can do collaboration. So this might actually show up on his channel too, which would
I sent him a message about that. We'll just see if he knows about it, and we'll see where we go.
If we dude, I have collaborating on like every channel that I have access to, so it's like it's widespread. He has access to it, and whether or not he wants to do it, I don't know. Maybe he doesn't. It's his decision. If next week's episode goes horrible, he's gonna be like, I don't want this on my channel.
Yeah, So basically, our episodes go.
Yeah. But now let's go to the final word, and I think I'll take it.
Okay.
Buddy.